Want free wins this season? These are the 15 most broken Fortnite drop spots that nobody's talking about. I spent hours testing each one: chest count, rotation, safety, and surge routes. So whether you're playing solo, duo, or comp, these are the perfect spots for you. Let's get into it. The first drop of today's video is going to be Flooded Frogs. It's not exactly at the center of the map, and it has 40 chests, and this spot is loaded with lots of weapons, shields, healing items, and tons of materials. Because of this insane loot, it draws heavy early on traffic, so expect multiple fights, but not as much fights as you would see as a typical mythic POI. If you can win those early engagements and control the area, you'll have a massive advantage throughout the game. The rotation options are pretty solid, giving you multiple paths to move into the circle or third-party other fights if you feel confident. This drop is perfect for passive-aggressive players or squads looking to assert dominance early. Drop spot 2 sits at the edge of the map with around 21 chests, offering a decent amount of loot without the non-stop fights that you'll typically have at a central mythic POI. You'll find good weapons, healing items here, and materials, and you probably will find rotation items here, and it's a great spot for players, and especially in solos who want a strong start but prefer a quieter early game. The downside to this POI, you won't find as much metal, and if you're in the higher stack lobbies, you might not get as much surge. Drop spot 3 has 14 chests and is often smaller and probably overlooked. It's a low traffic edge drop, perfect for players who want to loot safely and focus on strong mid-game rotations. Loot is pretty decent but limited, so you need to move out quickly after looting to get surge tags in solo tournaments or high stake lobbies. Drop spot 4 is more of a low-key drop if you're playing a tournament or some rank game and you're playing really badly. You can just go to this drop. It's significantly smaller than other POIs and it has around 10 chests. You won't be fully geared here, but at least you can loot fast and rotate early. Perfect for passive players who just want to avoid the early game fight and focus on positioning for late game. Drop spot 5 offers a decent amount of chests, around 14 chests, and a decent amount of floor loot with enough loot to fight if necessary, but generally sees low traffic area due to being at the edge of the map. It's a balanced drop for players wanting to have a chill start with good rotation options for mid-game fights. Drop spot 6 has around 10 chests and it's more of a mountain split area, but it has decent amount of wood to break and a decent amount of brick to gauge your materials up, and it has 10 chests which you can decently get geared up, maybe not all the way to full capacity, but then you can rotate out to go fight other players and get your loot up. And this spot is good for players who just want a peaceful fight and doesn't want to get into any engagements early on. Drop spot 7 is Shotgun Solitude. It sits at the edge with around 43 chests, one of the second highest count on this list, making a good drop. Most players don't go here because most players don't like this drop because of the NPCs. It's a good drop for going in a tournament or rank. You'll typically have around maybe 1 to 4-ish players going here. You can expect some early game fight, but this spot is pretty controlled, so you can win it pretty easily, and people who go here aren't that skilled, so you can win this drop pretty easily. A weakness of this drop is there's no metal around here, so it's gonna be kind of hard to get your metal up. Drop spot 8, I split this into 2 drops. First, main drop is a building that was recently added. It has around 27 chests. It's perfect for someone who just wants to land here at a quieter drop. It has enough loot and has multiple exits for safe rotations. If you're in a solo tournament, this is a really good drop, and if you're in trios or something, this could be an okay drop. The second part, it has a decent amount of loot, also 15 chests. It's more if you get out dropped in the first drop, you can swerve off here and get a decent amount of loot, and then you can come back and fight at the first drop. And drop spot 9 is really close to drop spot 8. It has a decent amount of chests. It has 12 chests on the edge. It's good for players who just want to play passive and start with a low risk fight and then work their way up towards late game. Okay, drop spot 10 is Kappa Factory. This drop is really good. It sits at the edge and it attracts a decent amount of traffic. It's great for players who just want a strong loot without the full chaos of a central POI drop or a mythic drop. Rotations here require planning since you're far from the center. And a major strength of this drop is that it has metal, which other drops typically don't have, and metal is key for competitive. Drop spot 11 is pretty close to Kappa Factory. It offers 18 chests, so it's decent. It has good cover and it has a lot of brick and wood around it, so you can farm up easily, and the house is made out of metal. Drop spot 12 is better than drop spot 11 because it has the same amount of chests, so around 18 chests, and I think this spot has more floor loot than drop spot 11, and it's on the edge where it's safer, and this drop has a lot of containers and fences for metal, so you get your metal, wood, and brick up instantly. And this spot also has a slurp truck, which you can get to full health easily. Drop spot 13 has around 16 chests and is pretty good, and it's a quiet spot because it's at the edge of the center and nobody typically goes here, so it's good for a solo tournament or solo rank. Drop spot 14 is pretty good. It offers around 15-ish chests and it has a lot of floor loot, and it's good for looting fast. It's good for looting quickly and fast rotations from the edge, and there's typically like 0 to 2 players at lander, so you can win the spot really easily. And there's like fishing rods, so you can just fish for fish, shield fish, and get your health up easily. Drop spot 15 is a pretty good drop. It has around 16-ish chests, and it's pretty good. It's versatile for players who want a safe start and for off spawn, and who don't want to avoid into much early game fights, and who typically want to fight towards the mid and end game. And this drop is really good because it has a slurp truck, so you can get your health up instantly in case you're conned. So just land at the slurp truck house and then loot those chests, and just you can start fighting. And lastly, drop spot 16. It's a pretty big split. It has around roughly 19 chests, and this spot is pretty good for just defensive positioning. You can hold angles here well, and you can loot comfortably with low early pressure. And this drop's pretty good because in case you don't get to like the main building, you can just swerve off to the sides. But holding down this spot might be a little challenging because the area of this place is pretty big. Those are the 15 best drop spots. Pick one and master it and dominate your lobbies. If this helped, drop a like and sub for more comp tips. And got a secret spot I missed? Let me know in the comments down below. See you out. Peace.